If there's one thing I like about blogging, it's the way a little theme can just pop up. You're not talking about anything in particular, nothing in particular is happening, at least nothing that you're writing about, but there's just one post and then another, and there's a little bit of a theme. And what I like about today is the fact that little furry animals became a theme. And I know there's a blogging tradition of cats or something, photographs of cats on Fridays. And there's a vlogging tradition of taking a drink out of a cup, because that's the sort of low-level, scintillatingly subtle kind of entertainment that you get on a vlog. But the furry animals thing today has got nothing to do with cats. I was starting off with this, my friend Nina is over in the Canadian Rockies. She's always traveling around and usually going to Europe and cities. But this time she's up camping in the Canadian Rockies and taking photographs, very crisply outlined mountains and so on. I think that the light or the air is different in certain places. It can affect your photography. I'm going to go out into the landscape eventually and try to do some landscapey photography, but not for now. But what had got me about Nina's the photograph I concentrated on was not the mountain scenic vista, but just like this furry thing on a rock. What is that thing lying draped over a rock? A Canadian rocky rock. It looks just like a deflated bag of fur. What a lazy old creature up in the mountains. It's a marmot. And Sippy Can drops by the post to identify the marmot by basically quoting a dialogue from The Big Lebowski. Nice marmot, right? We want the money, Lebowski. You think we're kidding and making with the funny stuff? They put the marmot in the bathtub and it's all fighting all over the place. I'll bite. What is it? That's not oh, I'm screwing up my reading of The Big Lebowski and reading the next comment. I was watching a little of The Big Lebowski on TV the other day. It just happened to come on one of the... I often just watch whichever movie is on one of the HD channels, and that came on, and I watched part of it. But then I fell asleep, so I didn't see much of it. But that's the thing about the marmot, kind of set the tone for the furry creatures of the day. And then there was this other story, which is, for some reason, exactly the kind of story I love to blog about. It's what originally caught my attention was it was a classic Daily News headline. Gay man sues for right to tan naked with his terrier. And I found that a much more interesting lawsuit to write about than the Valerie Plame, Joe Wilson civil suit that is being talked about in the political sectors of the blogosphere. I think it's more interesting that there's just some man who just really wants to be able to go to the beach naked with his dog, and he's bringing a lawsuit. And he's got lots of, he's even worked 9/11 into the situation, like apparently he has some kind of skin condition brought on by 9/11, and that requires him to go to the beach nude. And then he also has to bring his dog, because his dog is really his emotional support pet. Emotional support pet is an old topic from the Althouse blog we were talking about a few months ago. There was an article that we were reading. People are trying to kind of get into the law that prevents that provides for accommodations for the disabled, and like guide dogs and things like that, by saying they've got to use their emotional that they are entitled to be able to bring their emotional support pet. In other words, they have a dog that they feel emotionally reliant on, and then they want to go out in public with that dog. So here's a guy who feels so vulnerable he wants special privileges for his dog, but he also wants to go out on the beach naked. I mean, if you feel vulnerable, why would you go out naked? And if you needed a dog to keep from feeling vulnerable, why would you want, especially if you were a man, a terrier near your naked body? As various commenters brought out, in the comments, terrier is trained to go after little furry animals, little furry things. And someone made the wisecrack, I don't think he'll, that if he goes out naked with his terrier that he'll be so gay, and someone else said, or he'll be so much of a man. Gay in the normal adjective sense. Not gay in the sense that he was a gay man, which didn't have anything to do with the story. Why isn't there something wrong with publishing a headline like that? You don't just throw in someone's sexuality if it has nothing to do with the story, do you? Anyway, the sort of classic Althouse theme that I thought should have been brought up and wasn't by the commenters, and I had to put it in the comments, was, well, at least this is a way for a man to avoid wearing shorts, because, speaking of long-standing themes here, one of my long-standing themes is, don't wear shorts if you're a guy. Just don't wear shorts. It doesn't look right. It's not good. You're wearing children's clothes. Don't wear children's clothes. But really, realistically, I would prefer that to going around naked. We don't have any naked guy problems here in Madison, even though it's quite hot here today. So I turn my head this way. I am looking out the window. I'm looking onto Bascom Hill. You can see that I'm here in my office, not at my home setup. I'm in my office. You can see the umbrella hanging over there. Rainy this morning, and well, did you notice it's a Kandinsky umbrella? I got it at the museum once when it was raining and I needed an umbrella, and I picked that out and I thought it was a good idea, but not so much anymore. It's a little loud. It's a little calling attention to oneself. I like to slink around in the rain under a black umbrella, or a white umbrella is acceptable. But the very exaggerated umbrellas, let's not have them. Let's not have shorts, and let's be wearing clothes. Let's not be naked. But the other animal that made an appearance on the blog is the Nikki Nanka. What's the Nikki Nanka, and where is the Nikki Nanka? Well, it's somewhere, reputedly, in Gambia. But people have said that they've seen the Nikki Nanka. I have a little drawing of the Nikki Nanka on the blog, but the problem is that if you see the Nikki Nanka, they say there seems to be this thing where when you see the Nikki Nanka, you will die, usually within a few weeks. So let's not be going out searching for the Nikki Nanka. Let's just look at the drawing and think about how cool it is that there is a word, Nikki Nanka, and that there are marmots draped across the Canadian Rockies, and that there is a man who's so attached to his terrier that he would like to, wear it as a bathing suit. I don't know if he actually wanted to hold the dog so that people wouldn't be able to see all of him. It's sort of like a fig leaf of a dog. Someone said, well, I think if I was going to take my dog out with me, I would want something larger and furrier. I think he's picturing sort of a caveman, sort of shorts made out of dog. I don't think that's such a good idea, do you? But I see my ex-husband, Richard Cullen, who doesn't blog all the time anymore. He's kind of went on strike for work conditions or something like that on his blog, and but he does come back now and then and do short posts. But he learned this blogging thing. It's a lot of work, and you throw in podcasting and blogging and monitoring comments, which is really the thing that takes up too much of my time. Really, the time sink that I worry about most in blogging is keeping up with all the comments when there are hundreds of them coming in. At some point, I think you just let it go and just let them go, but I don't do that. I even write in the comments a lot of the time. But anyway, the last furry animal thing that I wanted to talk about in this little vlog is something Richard wrote, and I'll link to it. He's just going and looking at various bumper stickers. Bumper sticker patrol, he says, installment 6. The more people I meet, the more I like my dog. And he comments on the bumper sticker. Because, right, shouldn't you write down bumper stickers and then comment on them? He says, so the bumper sticker is, the more people I meet, the more I like my dog. And he says, he likes his people servile, groveling, and gratefully obedient. Good luck to his wife and kids.